What is up, everyone? It's Wednesday night. How are we all doing? Welcome to the Late Night Agenda. I am your host, Craig, and as always, motherfuckers, this is your show. You let me know what you want to talk about. All things Liverpool related. It's fair game on here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. I hope wherever you are, the weather's calmed down a little bit. I know we've had a bit of stormy weather over the last week or so, but look, great to have you all with us again. Keegan, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, mate, the newest member that has signed up. Welcome. Look, there's loads to get through today. You guys are probably sick of hearing me saying this, but I swear to God, there's loads for us to get through today. We've got the stuff around the Annie Road the Annie Road end being done up. We've got the Timo Werner stuff. There's a couple of other bits and pieces as well, and of course we'll begin to have a look ahead to the Reds game against Norwich at the weekend. So look, let me say my hellos to everybody that's in the chat. Stephen, Brian, Keegan. Who else we got? Mega Sting, Man Like Allison, Leon Khan, Subi, Casper, Big Man Steve, and everyone else that's in the chat. Welcome. Joanne's in there as well. How are we all? I hope life is treating you well, ladies and gentlemen. Right, what do we want to start with tonight? I suppose I'll tell you what. You guys can tell me what you want to chat about. And while you're doing that, while you're writing that in, let me just have a little talk, I suppose, about the Anfield Road end. Because that's something that many people have been asking us about over the past few months. And my go-to answer had been, you know what? I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Well, over the past 24 hours, more and more stuff have started to come out about this. Some images are starting to do the rounds as well. I'm sure you've probably seen them on social media or on the club site maybe. I don't know, I haven't been on there to check if it's on there, but I'm sure you've seen it on social media. What it looks like is that they're going to try and raise the capacity up to 61,000, so adding about 7,000 extra seats. It seems to suggest that we're going to have basically a mini version of the main stand at the Anfield Road end, with 5,200 extra regular seats and around 1,800 hospitality seats. So they reckon this will be done for the 2022-23 season, which is quite quick, actually, if we're being fair about this. So let's look at the end of this season. 2 years from the end of this season, they reckon that we'll have it ready for the start of the 2022-23 season, getting the capacity at Anfield up to 61k. It's great. It is perfect news. I'm sure if you see the images of it, it looks wonderful. It really does. Again, the outside of the stand, they've done a fantastic job with the way that's going to look. The same architects that have been involved with the development of Kirby and of course with the main stand, it looks like those guys are going to be the ones who are going to be doing this as well. Again, it's just more investment from the owners. I think between this and Kirby, you're talking about £110 million investment in infrastructure from FSG, which can only be seen as good news. Again, pushing the club in the right direction. Those 5,200 regular seats will of course bring down the waiting lists as well, and around 1,800 hospitality seats going to be available by the looks of things. It's great news. Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I'm sure you guys are as well. So look, let me know how you're feeling about that. Let me know if you've seen the images on social media and what you think of them. What have we got? Where will the away fans be going when they do it? I don't know, Scotty. Do you know, I was thinking the exact same thing to myself, mate, earlier on, and I wonder if they're going to keep them in the Anfield Road end, maybe do what they do right now and keep them over to one side of it, or maybe they'll put them in the upper Annie Road end. I don't know, buddy. Maybe I've missed that part. Maybe somebody has mentioned where they go. At the moment, they go in the away end is down at the Annie Road end, in the far right hand corner, as I'm sure you guys know. Strong hoodie game. Thank you, mate. I love this hoodie. I told you I'm an Adidas boy. I'm an Adidas freak, Brian. Not all seats will go to season ticket holders. I don't remember saying that they would. All I said is that they would bring down the wait list. Eden Wolf, I didn't say that they'd all go to season ticket holders, mate. I'm sure that a couple of them will go. Well, I don't know what the breakdown is, so there's no point in me saying to you. What I can say is there'll be around 5,200 regular seats, and as I said, about 1,800 hospitality type seats. Other than that, mate, I don't know what the breakdown is yet, but I definitely didn't say that they'd all go to season ticket holders. I just said that they bring down the waiting lists. Have I talked about Werner yet? No, Tierna, mate, don't worry. We've loads to get through on Timo Werner. We'll be flying through that. Don't you worry about that, my friend. Away fans in the parking lot at Cape Town Muslim. Yeah, exactly. Just give them a pair of the El Binoculars and just stick them miles away. Just sit them on top of Goodison and give them a pair of binoculars. Binoculars, as I like to call them. Yeah, there you go. That's good enough for them, isn't it? We don't need away fans. Actually, do you know what? While we're talking about away fans, something came up today that seems to have annoyed the club a little bit, and rightly so. So it looks like Liverpool are going to receive 658 less tickets than expected for the fifth round away game in the FA Cup at Chelsea, and the club aren't happy about it, and rightly so. So the way it's supposed to work is there's a rough guide that away fans are supposed to get about 15% of the allocation And the 5,466 tickets that Liverpool away fans are going to be getting falls a significant amount short of that 15%. And Chelsea are doing the usual thing of hiding behind the fact that they're saying that their safety advisory group said that this is the final amount and that's how many away fans can go in and that's the end of it. There's not even going to be a dialogue about it apparently. So yeah, so Liverpool a little bit disappointed about that, and rightly so. 658 Copites not being there is a significant loss of tickets and a significant loss of away fans inside the stadium. So I can understand why people are a bit unhappy about it. If 15% is supposed to be the go-to, I don't know. There's something about this FA Cup run, ladies and gentlemen. It's like we're almost destined to get a pain in the arse every single round at this point. Obviously, with Shrewsbury, look, you guys know what happened around that whole thing. You don't need me to remind you about it. And with this, Chelsea not ponying up the amount of tickets that are usually allocated to away fans, which is around 15%. Gunjeet said, just get rid of the away fans. And I think you were talking about the Annie Road end. Can't do that, unfortunately, buddy. Got to have away fans in. And rightly so. You know, away fans need to be inside the stadiums as well. Chavsky, gamesmanship will still do them, said Billy. That's what it sounds like to me, Billy. It stinks of gamesmanship to me, mate. And hiding behind the fact that they're saying that their safety advisory group made the decision. Yeah, look, mate. We have to play the game here and say that, you know, safety is vitally important and that, you know, we want everyone to attend the game and come home in a safe manner. But, you know, let's not be naive about this as well. It's a bit of shithousery. On my behalf, it sounds like and looks like a bit of shithousery. Dugout's in as well. Douglas, how are you, mate? Welcome. Callum said Sancho has confirmed that he will leave Dortmund in the summer. Yes, mate. I've seen a good bit of that. We'll get to the Timo Werner stuff because I know a lot of you guys are coming in looking forward to a chat about Timo Werner, and don't you worry, this guy here is looking forward to it as well. Nobody loves an L transfer story as much as I do, but you brought up Sancho, Callum, so let's have a little chat around Jadon Sancho. If you're to believe the nonsense that's been on Sky, United want Jadon Sancho and they want him bad. It also looks like Dortmund want around the £100 million for Jadon Sancho. And Manchester City, of course, have that clause where they're allowed to match any offer that goes in for Jadon Sancho or not. And apparently they're not willing to, they don't see the need to trigger that clause or bring him back to the club if what's, you know, going around in the media is to be believed. So with that in mind, I'll leave it up to you guys what you think around Jadon Sancho. I mean, 100 million sounds about the figure that we all thought was going to be. They spoke about looking for similar money that they got for Ousmane Dembele, which I think was around 130 million euro, thereabouts, about 100 million pounds, something like that. He's a wonderful player. He seems to have come back with a point to prove after the winter break in Germany. I like him. I don't think he's necessarily a player that we really need, but I know he's a player that Jurgen Klopp admires. I know he's a player that a lot of you guys like as well. And I think he's just turned 20 years of age, if my memory's correct. So, you know, the whole of his career ahead of him. So, I don't know on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if I had to stick 50 quid on it, I'd probably be sticking 50 quid on him not coming to Liverpool. But, again, I don't know is the honest answer. There's much more positive stuff to come on Timo Werner. That one looks far more likely. We'll get to that one in a couple of minutes. KFS Production said, good morning, Craig from New Zealand. How are you, mate? Good morning to you. Weird saying good morning when it's pitch black outside here and it's dark. Remember to smash the like, said Keegan. Thank you very much, mate. Is it true Bobby Duncan is doing the same to Fiorentina as he did to us to get a move? I think, didn't he? Isn't it Sunderland? I don't know if that move happened in the end, but there was talk about him going to Sunderland on loan at the end of the transfer window. I don't know if that ever came into fruition or not, but yeah, look, I mean, Bobby Duncan made his bed, mate, and, you know, as we say in the channel, with all due respect, fuck him. Honestly, he kind of looked like the Manchester City left back. Sorry to offend you. Angelino, he's not at Manchester City anymore, mate. He's at Borussia Dortmund. I'm not sure if that's on loan or not, but why would that offend me? I mean, I've been called Gru and Uncle Fester, so been told I look a little bit like Angelino, I think is the guy's name. Nah, mate, it takes more than that to offend me, but yeah, it's a good shout, to be fair. I wish I was as fit as him and earned as much money as him, but there you go. Eden Wolf said, don't rate Sancho, to be honest, would rather get a Adama Traore. He's not coming to Liverpool. I can guarantee you that, mate. We won't be signing a Adama Traore in the summer. I don't think that he'd be as impactful in our system as he is in the Wolves system. I don't think Wolves are going to be interested in selling him. And I think it would cost far too much money. So that's my take on Adama Traore. Wonderful footballer, having the season of his life right now. But for me, nah, not for me. But again, it's just my opinion. Aiden said 100 million, you have to be a starter, and we've got Sadio, Mo and Bobby. But we also have 60 to 65 games a season to play, Aiden, mate. So as I keep reminding people, we can't just have a front three. We need to have a front five or a front six. What do you think of us being linked to Saka? I haven't seen that, Callum. Again, mate, there's so many transfer rumours doing the round that it is difficult to keep up. Amric said the transfer failed, Sunderland pulled out, he's stuck in Italy. There you go, mate. He wanted to go over there, kicked up a fuss. We all know the shithousery he pulled by his agent. He basically got to the point where he was accusing Liverpool of nearly bullying the kid. And he got his move over to Fiorentina. And, yeah, let's just see how his career progresses. I don't like to talk badly of young footballers, so I'd rather just gloss over it and move on. Would I take Coutinho back? Abso-fucking-lutely no. Traverse Potts, mate. No, not a chance in hell. He's made his bed. He got his dream move. The fact that it's not working out for him and he isn't quite good enough to succeed outside of Liverpool, that's his own problem, mate. I loved Felipe when he was here. Devastated when he moved. But the way that he got that move and the way that he undermined Klopp and tried to destabilise the club, nah, not for me, mate. No going back there. Daniel, I'm very well, mate. Welcome to you. Great to have you with us. Right, what else have we got in your comments before I get through my notes? I want to get through as many of your comments as I can today because, yeah, I know sometimes it's busy, especially during watch-alongs, I don't get a chance to read through as many comments. What is hot mic? Oh, brilliant. Save me. He said, what is hot mix at first, Keen? And I was like, what's Keen on about? What is hot mic? Right, so hot mic is a new platform that, I keep saying new. It's new to the UK, basically. It's a platform that allows you to sync our match commentary with the game that you're watching on your television via this really cool app that's available in the App Store and the Google Play Store. 110 of you guys have already signed up on there using the code Anfield Agenda and given us a follow, which is massively helpful to us. So thank you so much. I'll quickly run through what it is. So let's say the game of the weekend, Liverpool against Norwich and Norwich against Liverpool. We're going to be doing our alternative commentary on that as we always do. And it will be available on YouTube as it always is. But with this Hot Mic app, it's really cool because you go into the app, you download the app, when you go in they'll ask you, do you have a code? You put in the code Anfield Agenda, all caps like that on the bottom. Go look for the Norwich versus Liverpool game, click on that game and it will give you a list of broadcasters that are currently signed up to broadcast that game. So when the game's about to take place, whether that be the pre-match show, if you're watching it on... Is it on Sky, this one at 5:30? If you're watching it on Sky, let's say. So you go and you click on it, and then you click on Anfield Agenda because you want to listen to our commentary. Then the button will pop up on the screen of your phone that says sync. You touch on that button, and it listens to your television, and it will sync up the point of your television with our commentary seamlessly, so you are up to date, play by play, with what I'm calling and what's going on in the game. And it doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. It is an absolutely amazing piece of kit. And the good news is, it's free for you. It's free for us. It is a win-win situation. And I genuinely believe the Hot Mic could be the biggest thing in fan broadcasting that has happened, I don't know, since fan content started on YouTube. It is going to be massive. And we want to be early adopters of the technology, and we're hoping to get as many of you guys to go over there and support us. So, again, go into the Google Play Store or the App Store, search for Hot Mic, download it. When you open up the app, it'll ask you, do you have a code? Put in Anfield Agenda, all caps, all one word, and give us a follow on there. And that will massively help us out, and it will get you guys to have seamless technology that allows you to listen to our commentary of the game. And also there's ambient background noise as well, so you hear crowd noise and stuff like that over it. Anybody that I know that's used it speaks really highly of it, and again, your support on there could really help push the channel to another place, and it's free for you guys to do. It does bring us a little bit of money, absolutely, but that's why it's a win-win for everybody. Free for you, free for us to use, and it gives us a few quid as well to help push the channel along. You gotta love it. Rabadan said, to quote Klopp, I heard Bayern lost. Yeah, Rangers lost actually tonight 2-1, which was very strange. They went 1-0 up, and I thought they were going to go to another straightforward victory. I think Rangers are now 10 points behind Celtic, albeit with a game in hand in the Scottish Premier League, which is it's a big bit to make up. I can't see Celtic dropping that many points, to be honest. Klopp deserves a chance, said, is it Buntle or Benettel? Excuse me if I mispronounce. Do you swear on hot mic? You bet your fucking ass I do, Thomas. When we were talking with the guys, we did a conference call with the guys from Hot Mic yesterday so we could set up the technology and make sure that everything was working with our systems. And that was one of the first questions that I was talking to the guys about, like, what's the story with using bad language on there? And our content is already marked as explicit, so yeah, we're good to go. We're good to swear away as much as we want, and it's going to be the same feed. So what you get on YouTube will be the same on Hot Mic, exactly the same. Video will be there, the OBS image will be there, my commentary will be there, but on Hot Mic there'll be no delay, so you'll be able to get straight up to date with what we're doing. What have we got? What about watching, said Rashid. As in which way? Yes, mate, you'll be able to watch the video exactly the same. So on your mobile device or on your tablet, you'll be able to watch exactly what you're watching on here. The exact same thing, albeit in real time, no delay, and you'll have background crowd noise and stuff like that. It's a clever piece of kit, it really is. Do you stand by your hot take that Scholes is overhyped and Henderson is better? Yes and no. I mean, it was an unpopular opinion, and the prefix of it was that I said that Paul Scholes doesn't belong in the same conversation with Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard of the best players of that generation. Then I went on to talk about the Jordan Henderson part, and of course I was winding up Manchester United fans as well, but basically what I was trying to say there was, again, what I said at the start, I don't think he does belong in the same conversation as Lampard and Gerrard. I believe he's a level down from them. But I was doing a little bit of shithousery when I was talking about Jordan Henderson. I love Jordan Henderson. But, yeah, I was winding people up a little bit, to be fair, mate. But look, you know, I'm always happy to stand over what I say. But, you know, was I throwing the fishing rod out there and hoping to catch something a little bit? Yes. But what's my job? My job when I do these things, to give my opinion, but to promote our channel as well and make sure that as many people as possible know about Anfield Agenda. And 351,000 people have seen that video, mate, so I think it was job done. How do I find you on Hot Mic, Craig? Just go in, mate. When you open up the app, you can click on the events, scroll down, and you'll see the Norwich versus Liverpool game. Click on there. You'll see the people that are broadcasting the game. We're the second one on it. Just click on it. Click follow. Bing, bang, bosh. Job's a good one. Do you think Werner will make a big impact at Liverpool? Right, let's get straight into it, because you guys have been kind enough. Let me talk about Hot Mic. Let's get straight into the Timo Werner stuff. Loads and loads and loads of links to Timo Werner doing the rounds today. So let's start off with what I've seen. So it looks like Liverpool's interest is genuine. I think that's fair enough to say at this point. Bild and Christian Falk have stated that Liverpool made contact with Timo Werner's management last summer, but they were told that he wanted another season in the Bundesliga, and also that they were expecting a bid to come in, I think, from Bayern Munich, which never came about. Liverpool are aware of the €60 million release clause that's built into Timo Werner's contract, and it looks like we are the front runners for a signature. I never want to say we're going to get a player, because anything can happen. But this one, I said earlier on, if I was to put 50 quid down, I wouldn't be putting it on Sancho. I'll probably put my 50 quid down on this one if I had to stick 50 quid on something. There's too many respected journalists and too many respected outlets talking about Timo Werner to Liverpool. He fits perfectly with what Jurgen Klopp likes to do. He can play in a number of positions across the front three. He gives us options. He's young. He's got the right profile. I think he's just turned 23 years of age. He's getting better and better and better. German international, doing really well with Leipzig, pushing right at the top of the Bundesliga, still in the Champions League, plenty of big game experience as well. It ticks all the boxes, and the price point at €60 million, which is about 51 million pound, I think it's good business. I really do, and I think this is one that I won't say is done, because like that would be just fucking lying to you guys. But I think this is the most genuine of all the links that we've seen over the past while. This is the one that I think really does hold water, and I want to know what you guys think about it and what else you've read, because I'm sure that there's loads of links out there. Robert O'Reilly, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my friend. Thank you so much for joining up. You'll now get to use all those cool little emojis, which is great as well. And again, to you guys, thank you. The amount of you guys that are signing up to become members of Anfield Agenda truly has blown us away. Thank you. Excuse me, gotta clear my voice. Would love to see him playing at Liverpool, said Chief or Sutherland. I like that name, mate. Well in. Think about the ridiculous amount of firepower we would have. Werner, Salah, Bobby, Mane, Origi. 50 to 60 million is a bargain, said City Fisher. And young Ryan Brewster as well, mate, who's currently on loan at Swansea to come back as well. Subi said, Craig, it's Werner time, baby. It's getting close, mate. I mean, if I'm looking at the watch right now, it's getting close. Can Werner play on the wing too? Yes, he started his career, Eclipse Fusion, mate. He started his career as a wide player, but now obviously he plays through the centre. But you can play anywhere across that front three without a shadow of a doubt. What's the code again? It's just Anfield Agenda, Keane. All caps, all one word, mate. Just Anfield Agenda. All caps, all one word. We're already, even though we've only just started on Hot Mic, we're already like breaking into the top 20 broadcasters on there, and we haven't even stuck a video up yet because of your amazing support. So thank you, and we hope you guys will continue to go over. Like, it's free for everyone. So if you watch our watch-alongs on YouTube, which has built our channel up, I think you're going to love it, because we're going to be doing Liverpool games. We're going to be doing some non-Liverpool games on Hot Mic as well, and of course on here. Over the next week, what you're going to get is the Norwich versus Liverpool game. We're doing the watch-along on here. We're doing it on Hot Mic as well. The Atleti versus Liverpool Champions League game, will of course be covering that as well. And then we're going to do, just as a little bonus for everyone, we're going to do the Leipzig Spurs game as well, both on here and on Hot Mic. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It gives me a chance to hone my commentary skills a little bit more as well. Is it possible that Mbappe could join? Asks Brendan Magenis. Anything is possible, Brendan, mate. But again, if I'm coming back to the 50 quid that we spoke about earlier on, buddy, I'm not touching that. I wouldn't put a tenner on it. I'd love it to happen, but realistically, I can't see it. I really can't see it happening. As much as we'd all love it, I mean, I'm not here to lie to you guys. My honest opinion is I don't see that one happening. We need midfielders or centre backs, said Craig is a big LFC fan. Do we need midfielders though? Really, mate? I mean, let's look at what we have available to us on the books at the football club right now. Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, James Milner. Lallana's moving on, we'll give you that one. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. We have Marco Grujic, who's on loan as well. We have Curtis Jones to come back in, who can play as an attacking midfielder as well. We're missing somebody else at the club. I know I usually am. Naby Keita's at the club as well. Spoke about Gini. So what's that, 7 or 8 that I've named already, mate? And we only play with 3 midfielders. So I don't know if we do need any more midfielders. I suppose a lot will depend on what happens with Grujic and his future as well. Pedro Chirivella's contract's up at the end of the season, so he'll most likely be moving on. Lallana's going to be moving on by the looks of it. It looks like Shaqiri could well be moving on as well, if rumours are to be believed. I do have some news on some other targets that we're looking at, so I'll get to that a little bit later on as well. I just want to keep going with the Timo Werner stuff, because I know you guys will have a lot of opinions on this. Do you think we'll sign Werner, said Benjamin? Yes, I think that we will, Benjamin. Or at least I think we will make a genuine play for him. I would imagine, look, at the way transfers are done in this day and age, I would imagine some of the legwork may have already been done behind the scenes if we are genuinely going for him. And it looks like we are. There's too much stuff floating around now for it to be bullshit for me, and it hasn't been poo-pooed by the James Pearsons of this world. So, yeah, I would say this is possible, mate. I would say it's very possible. We need a backup left back, said Gunji. No argument for me there, mate. As much as I do like the look of Larouci and we do have Adam Lewis, I agree with you. I think a left back backup to Andy Robertson is definitely something we should be looking at. Wijnaldum is leaving. No, he's not. He's going to sign a new contract, Keane. Whoever told you Gini Wijnaldum's leaving is lying to you. From what I've read, it looks like he's going to sign a new deal. I think that the only thing that's halting it is the length of that contract with Gini Wijnaldum, because he's gone past 30 years of age. I think maybe the club have a policy that we don't know about, but that seems to be what's holding it up. It won't be around money. It won't be around ambition, because you can clearly see that our football club is the club that is at the highest level right now. And I would be baffled if Gini Wijnaldum doesn't sign the new contract. Absolutely baffled. Everything that I've read suggests that he will. United will sign Grealish, Maddison and Sancho. Yeah, mate. And I'll come out here next week and I'll have a set of horns growing out of my fucking head. There's no chance that Manchester United are going to sign Grealish, Maddison and Sancho. I promise you that, Leon. I absolutely fucking promise you. There's no chance that United are signing all three of those players. Not a hope in hell. Werner deal done next week, said KFS Productions. Again, yeah, different variant of the same story, mate. Some people are saying that a deal will be put in place, ready to go. We do have a good working relationship with RB Leipzig. It's impossible to remember that because obviously the Naby Keita transfer that we done as well. Yeah, there is a good channel of communication apparently between Liverpool and Leipzig, so it's important to keep that in mind. Jamal Lewis from Norwich is Phil Lindsay's suggestion as a backup. Man like Allison said Grealish for 100 million. Look, United fans do half live in cloud fucking cuckoo land sometime. Do United have money to spend in the summer? Yeah, probably, because they're probably going to be selling Paul Pogba. Do they need midfielders? Absolutely. But there's no way that they're getting Maddison and Grealish and that they're going out and getting Jadon Sancho as well. You're talking about 250 million quid there, mate. Plus, let me be honest, Leon, and any other United fans are watching. Do you trust Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to spend that much money and bring in players and coach them? Because I've got to be honest, if I'm a cynical person, and I am, I fully believe Solskjaer's going to get the boot at the end of the season, and that United, if they haven't already, are going to make a massive play for Pochettino. That's what I believe. That's what I think will happen. But then again, hey, I'm not a United fan. I'm just looking at this from the outside. Thank fuck I'm not a United fan, I might add. M. Shaq said next season will be harder to win the league because we'll lose Salah and Mane to the AFCON. Yeah, but so will other clubs, mate. I mean, it's you're right. We will lose them, and maybe Naby as well. But other clubs will be losing their African contingent as well. On Mohamed Salah, it could get even worse around Salah. So there's a couple of stories doing the rounds that suggest that Mohamed Salah could be part of the Egyptian contingent for was it the Olympics as well, if my memory's correct, which hasn't been decided yet by the Egyptian FA. Mohamed Salah, I think his agents came out and said that nothing had been decided yet. But if that was the case, then he could well miss the start of the season as well. So you could be looking at a point where Mo maybe misses a lot of pre-season, potentially some of the start of the season, and then out in January as well for the AFCON, which isn't ideal for anybody. Nobody at all. So, yeah, I think this will be something that I won't say will concern the football club, but definitely the club will be keeping an eye on, and I'm sure will be kept in the loop by Mo and his agent and everybody involved. Felix Reed said, have you heard the rumours about Adrian wanting to leave at the end of the season? Yeah, mate, I spoke about it loads of times on the stream. It looks like he's going to go back to Real Betis, and I never hold anything against somebody that wants to go and play football, buddy, and he's, 32 years of age, something like that, wants to play. And like Mignolet when he moved on, I'd never hold that against the footballer. I mean, their careers are short enough as it is, so if Adrian does want to move on at the end of the season, probably the reason why we're looking at that guy Kikir from Trabzonspor, who we seem to have been linked to for an eternity at this point. SJM11 said our main source of goals won't be there, that's why we need an attacker. In which sense, mate? Are we talking about the AFCON as well? Because let's be honest about this. Nobody's gone out and signing a player just because we need up to a month to 6 weeks worth of cover. That's just silly. That's like going out and signing a player because someone's injured for 4 weeks. Clubs don't think that short term. It's not fair on the club, it's not fair on the player in question, and of course it's not fair on the other player. So whatever player we're looking at, whether that be Chukwueze, whether that be Timo Werner, whether that be Jadon Sancho, whoever it might be, it won't be because of the AFCON. We're not going to sign a player to cover for 4 to 6 weeks. That's just madness. That's just financial suicide. It would just be stupid by the club, any club, to go out and sign a player just because we're losing somebody for 4 to 6 weeks. I heard the Olympic youngster coach said that Salah will be part of the squad. Yes, mate, but his agent, Mo's agent, came out today and said that nothing has been decided yet. And that was retweeted and commented on, I think, by James Pearce and a few others as well. Celtic 10 points clear of Rangers. We spoke about that one a little bit earlier on as well, mate. Adrian swap for Nabil Fekir, said Kate. I don't quite think so. Does anyone know how long Adrian's contract is at Liverpool? Do we just have him until the end of the season? Is that the deal that he's on? I never even thought of checking that one up, you know. Adrian to win the Premier League and the Champions League, perfect send-off. Of course, having won the Club World Cup as well and the Super Cup, mate. Yeah, not a bad few months or a bad season if he is here. Karius to replace Adrian, said the Cop Council. No, mate, it's not going to happen. Again, just my opinion. Sorry, when I say it's not going to happen, Connor, I mean that's just my opinion, buddy. Look, at Besiktas, it's not working out for Karius as things stand. There's a 2-year loan to buy deal there. I think they paid us a certain loan fee, and I think if they were to take up the option to buy him, it would have came in at about 12 million in total, something like that. But if he does come back to Liverpool, it'll be literally come back and train while he finds another club and moves on. I think the pressure would just be too much for him to come back here after everything that's happened. And I just don't see it happening. That's my take on it. I think that if Adrian does move on, then we'll be looking at the likes of Kikir or somebody like that to come in and play, I won't say backup, but maybe to even try and provide competition to Alisson. If Klopp leaves, who would you like to see as new manager? Nobody, because I don't even want to think about Klopp leaving yet. He's just literally signed a new contract to keep him here until 2024. I'm not thinking 4 years ahead, mate. I don't think 4 years ahead in my own life, let alone 4 years ahead with regards to Liverpool Football Club and the manager situation. 2 years Adrian signed for, said Mark. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Although fastest region said it was 1 year. Karius is yesterday's news, said Elijah John 5. No point in Werner or formation and tactics will change. That's simply absolutely 100% not true in any way, shape or form. Amir, how would it change? You can drop Bobby back a little bit into the hole, play Werner through the centre. You can rotate and play Werner anywhere across the front three, push him out on the left, play Mo through the centre. It wouldn't involve a change at all. It would involve more options for the manager and be able to rest more players. So I don't know what you've seen of Timo Werner, Amir, but I think, just me, buddy, I think you're wrong on that one. Bring Karius back next year, said nobody. That seems a little bit mean, Andrew, but I do agree with it. I don't see he's going to come back. Read the rest of the comment. I can't, Connor. It moves too quick, mate. I couldn't keep up with the comments, so I was trying to read it as it was going up the screen. Liz said it's a 1-year contract with Adrian with an option for a second. Thank you for that, Liz. Kelleher should be second choice, said Thomas McGee. Yeah, this is a bit of a bugbear of mine, Thomas, with regards to backup goalkeepers, particularly the young ones. They have to get a chance at some point. Otherwise, what's the fucking point of having them at the club? So, we'd already seen we moved on another keeper, went to Leicester, and then we have Quinton Kelleher. And what's his future? I mean, if he's at the football club and he goes through the system, it's obviously because we think he's a very good keeper. So, at what point do you give him at least the backup spot? It's a bugbear of mine, it really is, but I understand football is a ruthless business as well, but it's kind of a catch-22, isn't it? You want somebody with some experience, but where is he going to get that experience? So it's a difficult one, and that's why I suppose Jurgen Klopp gets paid the big bucks. What's logical playing Salah through the middle? I don't even understand the question nor statement there, Casper. Salah's played through the middle loads of times, by the way. Craig, would Liverpool do a 4-2-2 formation if Werner came in? I don't know. That's the honest answer. I'd be lying to you. I don't know what's going on in Jurgen Klopp's head. I think as fans sometimes we get a little bit too caught up on formations, and things can tweak throughout a game. You can see 2 or 3 different things. Players pulled out of position, a little small tweak to counteract something that the opposition has done. So I wouldn't really worry about whatever formation we're going to come up with. Klopp will do what he thinks is best with the group of players that he has available for any particular game. Craig, what would be a reaction if we choked a 22-point lead? Well, there won't be a reaction because it's not going to fucking happen. Why are some of you people so negative? Why even talk about dropping a 22-point lead? Why not talk about making it a 30-point lead? I don't buy into negativity, mate. I don't do the what if you sold this player or that player. Who do you want after Klopp? What if we drop these points? Nah. Don't think that way. Think positive. Be happy. Enjoy what's going on at the football club right now. Connor said, we're now the 18th most followed account on Hot Mic already because of you guys. Thank you. He's put the link into the chat as well if you do want to go there and sign up. And look, it does make a massive difference to us. So again, code Anfield Agenda and give us a follow on there if you do. Danny Ward will be Leicester number 1 next year, hopefully, said Boya. What's the situation with Kasper Schmeichel, mate? Because he seems a little bit hit and miss to me from what I've seen. Sometimes I look at him and think he's a fine keeper, and the other times I look at him and think he's a little bit lost. But look, you get to watch him every week, Anthony, so I'll be interested to hear what you have to say around him. Right, KFS Productions, that's twice you put the same comment in, mate. Don't keep spamming the chat with the same stuff because it just clogs it up and it makes it difficult to read out anyone's comments. Connor said, if you could figure out a system that has the genius of Bobby and the clinical finishing of Werner, it will be even more ridiculously good. Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine there was a way we could play Firmino, Mane, Salah, Werner. And I'm sure that there is. But as Brian Morrissey has just said, Timo Werner suits what we want to do perfectly. We change into different formations as the games progress. Klopp has it in the bag, said Keegan. Exactly. We alter all the time, little tweaks during games. You probably notice as well from set pieces the amount of times that you see our fullback swapping over. So we'll be on a counter attack and all of a sudden you see Trent over on the left hand side and Robbo on the right because of the way we defend corners and set pieces. Craig, your answers are quite ruthless at times. Well, I've always been blunt, Casper, mate. That's what you get from me. This is who I am. I don't blow smoke up people's arse and I don't hiccup people's balls, mate. I give you exactly what I think is the answer that is true. And if people don't like that, I understand it, but I'm not going to change, mate. I am who I am. I've been the same since day one. To be honest, Craig, if Werner comes to Liverpool, do you think he'll get game time? Because for me, 100%. 100%, mate. As I keep saying, 60 to 65 games a season. At the moment, the players probably don't get enough rest. And the more players play, the more that they don't get rested, the more likely they are to get injured. So yeah, the more players that we have, and I get the idea and I get the argument that, you know, you've got a load of players there that are going to want to play. Well, they will get the game time, but it's also easier to keep people happy when you're winning shit and you're successful. And right now, we are. So, again, the one thing we know about Klopp is he won't just sign players for the sake of it. Anybody he brings into the football club, he'll have a plan in mind for them. Werner starts, who gets dropped. I mean, I think we've answered that about 15 times, Liam, so far today, mate. Nobody gets dropped because people get rotated. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh here, and maybe I think that the language that you guys use at times is a little bit dismissive or critical of our own players. Why use the phrase dropped? Why use the phrase dead wood? Why use the phrase bottle? Why not talk about how best we can implement Timo Werner? How can he complement what we already have at the club, and how will he be utilised? Those are the type of things I think we should be talking about. Positivity. No, there's enough negativity outside of our fan base. There's enough people trying to bring ourselves down. Let's not do it from the inside. That's all I'm trying to say. Let's be positive. Enjoy what we're seeing. Look towards the future. And yeah, there's a conversation to be had about where Timo Werner might fit in. Absolutely. But, you know, let's not start talking about dropping players and things like that, because it just seems a little bit self-defeating, or defeatist to me. Wilson, Shaqiri leaving too. Gruitch likely as well, and make way for Havertz. The Kai Havertz thing, I suppose we haven't talked about it tonight really. I still think he'll end up at Bayern Munich. He has spoken about being open to moving outside of the Bundesliga, but again, maybe it comes down to money. Like, Bayern Munich are a very well run club that have deep pockets, but they probably want to go back in for Leroy Sané. So would they have the money to go and get a Leroy Sané and go and get somebody like Kai Havertz as well? Probably, but it would be pretty unusual for them to drop that much cash. It doesn't look like they're going to take up the option to buy Philippe Coutinho as things stand, even at a possible reduced price. I mean, we've seen figures of 77 million being knocked about as well. What would Origi go for if he went? Well, he signed a new deal, Kate, so that would play into his value because, you know, Liverpool have a strong hand. Not that Origi's going anywhere. I would say Divock Origi is probably a 30 to 40 million pound striker as things stand. I think that's my genuine belief for him. Yeah. Have I ever been to a boss night? Yes. We went over to Liverpool last season, mate, before the guys went over to Madrid for the final, and we went to the boss night send-off party. Yeah, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Highly recommend it to anybody who gets a chance to go to one of the boss night gigs. Look, ladies and gentlemen, what are we? We're about 35 minutes into tonight's show. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. Give the stream a thumbs up as well, and keep your comments coming. We're getting really close to hitting 34,200 subscribers, which is great. I actually think that we've hit it, and this hasn't caught up yet. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed, please do take a second, hit that button. I want Sancho and Werner in the summer, said Charlie Martins. I think we'd all like that, Charlie, mate, if I'm being honest. But I don't know. I don't know if... How am I going to phrase this? I don't know if our expectations are being managed, or I don't know if we're going to see something big when Nike comes in and starts manufacturing our kits. I just don't know what to believe yet. So I'm kind of... The Werner stuff makes loads of sense to me, but will we go and then drop another 100 million on top of the 60 million euro that it would cost to get him on Sancho without moving anybody on? Now, I know Lallana's going to move on, but he's going to go on a free, so we're not going to get a transfer fee for him. We could get a transfer fee for Harry Wilson. It's rumoured that we're looking for around 30 million for him. Then, of course, you've got Shaqiri as well, probably another 25 to 30 million. So, yeah, that could probably fund the Werner deal. It's interesting. I don't know what to say to you. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm as hopeful as all of you that we go out there and we bring in a Havertz or a Werner or a Sancho. But time will tell. Time will tell. What we should be looking to do right now is get the league sewn up. Which... You know, we ain't too far away from doing 6 games at the most. 6 wins to go, I mean, and it's done. Craig, is this your Norwich preview as well, or is that coming Friday? Tomorrow, Subi. We always do our previews 2 days before the games if we can. So, yeah, there'll be a Norwich preview show coming up tomorrow. Do the predicted 11, do the score predictions and all that stuff as well. How much money have we got to spend in the summer? Again, Casper, mate, I would be just making up a number, buddy, because I don't know. And anybody that gives you a number is probably lying to you, buddy, because nobody knows. And with Liverpool and Klopp, I don't think it is a matter of the owner saying to him, Jurgen, you've got 100 million to spend plus sales or whatever. I think it's a matter of Jurgen will say what he needs, in what position. They'll have a list of targets. He'll discuss those targets with the owners. If they believe that they're gettable and they all believe that it's decent value, then they'll go and back the manager. I don't think it's a case of, we've 150 million to spend this summer, let's go spend it. I think Klopp will ask for what he believes he needs, and the owners will try and be as supportive as possible. I think that's the more realistic way of looking at this. Kate reckons we'll spend 200 plus million this summer. Craig, would you have Gerrard as assistant manager? That's, for me, the dream, mate. That's what I would love to see happen. If it's going to come to a point where Steven Gerrard does end up being the successor to Jurgen Klopp at some point, for me, a 1 year transition period where he comes in and works with Klopp would be absolutely ideal. Now, I don't know if Gerrard will ever become Liverpool manager. If he does, I want it to be on his own merits and not just because his name is Steven Gerrard. We can't look past Pep Linders as well. But yeah, ideally, mate, a year's transition or something like that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? If he got to work with Klopp and got to implement Klopp's methods, his own methods, got to learn from Klopp, and everything was put in place for a smooth transition, that would be great, but that's probably dreamland. Craig, do you reckon Lovren will go, and if he does go, do we need a replacement? Yes and yes, Benjamin, is the answer to both of them, mate. Now, what I would say is, if Dejan Lovren moves on, I'm not expecting Liverpool to go out and sign Koulibaly. Do you know what I mean? I'm not expecting us to go out there and drop 100 mil on a centre-back when we have Joe Gomez, we have Joe Matip, we have Sepp Vandenberg, we have Kylian Hoover. So, yes, I think we spoke about last night a couple of players that Liverpool had been interested in. Another name that was doing the rounds a while back was Diego Carlos, the guy from Sevilla. He was rumoured to be 50 million. Having watched him a few times, from what I've seen, I don't see a £50 million defender there. I would be more... I think the likelihood would be if we were to bring in another centre-back, something between 20 and 30 million, because he's going to be third or fourth choice. Gomez and Van Dijk seems to be exactly what Klopp wants and exactly what we need, to be fair. Casper said Quincy Promes linked. I haven't seen that link, but Douglas mentioned that to me in the Anfield Agenda Discord group as well. But I haven't seen that link personally, mate. I've seen Quincy Promes linked before he moved away from one of the Moscow clubs. I can't remember which one of the Moscow clubs it was that he was at. Was it Spartak? I'm not sure which one. To be honest, I'd rather have Pep and Linders take over after Klopp. No time for sentiment, said Big LC. And I'm kind of the same. Not that I'd rather have Linders. I mean, I'm the same that I've no time for sentiment, mate. I want whoever the best manager will be at that time. Now, ideally, I want Jurgen Klopp to sign another extension and stay here for another 4 years after these 4 years are up. But look, what we do know for certain is Klopp always signed that deal. We've got 4 more years to look forward to. Let's just enjoy those years and see where we are and see how many more trophies that we can put in the cabinet. Craig, a Norwich fan, said he's hopeful for what Liverpool have done to them and saying they'll win. Hopeful? I don't know what that means, mate. I don't know what you mean by saying hopeful for what Liverpool has done to them. Sorry, buddy, I'm a little bit confused. Norwich is going to be a difficult enough game. I mean, I think that they're very unlucky to be down where they are. And I think Farke is a decent manager. And I'm expecting us to win at the weekend. And of course, we'll do our full preview show around that tomorrow. I don't think we're going to sign up on Meccano either, Leon. I think he will move soon. I think that there are other clubs looking at him from what I've seen, other Premier League clubs. CD said, do you think a possible Lovren replacement should be somebody young like Ben White or somebody older like Clavan? Older. Actually, the only reason I know that so quickly is because myself and Connor had this very conversation. Would we rather see somebody like a Clavan come in and give time for Kylian Hoover and Seb van den Berg to develop, or would I rather see us go out and sign somebody like you've said there, somebody young? I think I'd rather see the latter. I'd rather see somebody with experience come in, because in other words, what's the point? What's the point in having Kylian Hoover? What's the point in developing him? What's the point in developing Seb van den Berg if the long-term plan isn't to implement them in and have them as centre-backs or full-backs at the club? So for me, yeah, sign if we're going to bring somebody in, short enough term, 1-2 years, allow the guys to develop. Yeah, that's spot on for me, mate. Genwell, thank you for the super chat. My friend said Liverpool's future signings are crucial in his opinion. If they want to be dominant for years and even a decade, can't just sign random players for random prices. I would agree with what you're saying, but I also think for that sustained long-term success, mate, what we're doing right now is vital. So the Seb van den Bergs, the Kylian Hoovers, bringing through the likes of Neco Williams, Curtis Jones, the youth, and think how much money we can save if we develop these players. So we bring them in at an academy age, bring them through, spot the best talent, and actually give them a chance to play. That could save us so much money, mate, and that's part of the reason why we've been so clever in the market. I mean, look at our 2 fullbacks cost us a total of what, 8.5 million? And even saying that, the 8.5 million or so for Robbo was brought back in by selling Kevin Stewart. So Liverpool have been really, really clever about how we've gone about things. Look, Klopp always dropped money when he's needed it. He's dropped 75 million on Van Dijk. Went out and signed a world record fee for a goalkeeper for a brief period before Kepa went to Chelsea for Alisson Becker. But they've both worked out. They've both hit the ground running and they've been the success that we wanted. So I think what you've said is right. A little bit of being really clever about what we do, getting the right players, and not just dropping names all over the shop, mate. Because we're not a club that just goes out there and signs superstars for the sake of it. United right now are up shit creek. You're going to see a load of names linked around Manchester United because, let's face it, they're a shambles at the minute. They've brought in Bruno Fernandes, but it looks like Paul Pogba's going to go. Their squad is filled with overpaid, overhyped players, and they need a massive overhaul. But I don't think that they're going to trust Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with that. So like I said earlier on, I'd fully expect Pochettino to be approached at least. And he's the man that they'd most likely trust with a rebuild. Along, of course, with a director of football, which they badly need as well. Trent was 3, Robbo was 7.5. I think he was 8.5, mate. Maybe 8. But either way, we're splitting hairs, so it doesn't really matter. If we rely on youth, what are we saving the money for? See, again, Casper, I didn't say that we rely on youth, mate. I say that we be clever. We look to the youth systems. Do you not think, right, let me ask you this, Casper. If you were running a business right now, and you could bring in players for 5 million quid, and 2 years down the line, maybe make them first team players, or you go out there and drop 80 million, what would you do? You probably want a mixture of both. And what are we saving money for? Well, we're building a new training facility, mate, that costs 50 million quid. We've got a new main stand that we're paying off the money for, which was, I think, 115 million, if I'm not incorrect on that, something like that. Then, of course, we're going to be doing the Annie Road end. That's another 60 million. So, there's where your money goes. And we'll be doing that without putting debt on the club, which is massive. Absolutely massive. Liverpool Football Club are in such a healthy financial position. I don't know the ins and outs of how Manchester United is run, but what I do know is they were leveraged to fuck, and that they're basically just paying off the interest on the money owned. So the way that the I think the Glazers bought Manchester United is they basically leveraged the value of the club as a debt to buy that club, and then just paid off the interest on it. And we're not in that position. Liverpool Football Club are in a really, really healthy position because we've got owners who, as well as being very seasoned in owning sports, I don't want to use the word franchises, but for the likes, I can't think of a better word. So they've got the Red Sox, they've got the racing setup as well. I think they own other sports teams between them. One of the other members of FSG was wrapped up in Roma at one point. So they know what it means to own a club. They know what it means to run a sports business. And under promise and over deliver. That's the phrase that they used. And I think we can all agree that they're kind of doing that. But I probably sound a bit like a broken record here. But do I want us to go and sign the likes of Kylian Mbappe? You bet your ass I do. I'd love to see a superstar like that come into the football club. I'm just trying to be realistic about how we've gone about things, the way our manager actually works, and how clever we've been in the market. I mean, we can talk about net spend at times as well, but our net spend has been very good because we've been so good at selling players. I mean, look at the money we've moved players on for. Players that haven't been worth the money we've sold them for, if we're being honest. Leon said, Craig, you're depressing me. Well, you're a United fan, Leon. With all due respect, mate, my job is not to come on here and big up Manchester United, buddy. I'm sure you understand that. JDB said, Craig, predictions for what will happen to the supposed top 6 this decade. I'm somebody that would like to see the financial gap closed between the bigger clubs and the lesser clubs in the Premier League. I say lesser from a financial perspective. I would like to see a way that gap can be bridged and that football becomes more competitive and not just from, you know, the big hitters, the people with the deepest pockets. But is there a big 6 anymore? I don't know. And let's look at it right now. So clubs challenging for European places realistically, we've got Liverpool, City, Leicester, Chelsea, Arsenal, who are at a push. I mean, they're probably way down. United, Sheffield United at the minute as well. Wolves. So there's what? 8 clubs, 9 clubs challenging for maybe 6 places in Europe. So I think it's a fairly competitive league. I think it's a bit of an anomaly that Liverpool and Manchester City are going to be putting up the type of points totals that they have, because I think that it's a very special time in both of those clubs, histories, particularly Manchester City. Of course, Liverpool have won a shitload of stuff before, but the fact that they've won the league title with 198 points and then we had 97 points and came second and look like we're on the road to breaking 100 points this season, that's some achievement by both clubs. Adding into that, of course, Liverpool have added a Club World Cup, a Champions League, a Super Cup to that as well. Manchester City have added a load of domestic trophies on top of that. It's cyclical. I think that's the best way of describing it. Farrell once said to me in a conversation, football is cyclical, and Liverpool had their period of dominance and then we took our eye off the ball a little bit. Manchester United came up then, really good, redid Old Trafford. Their commercial aspect was streets ahead of ours, and then we were playing catch up for years. Now we're after bringing it back around. We're back at the top of the table, and United are scrambling around trying to play catch up. Then you've got clubs like Spurs who've got that magnificent new stadium, dropped I think £1 billion to build that. Really good move by Daniel Levy, very good chairman of a football club. They're making a big push. They need the pressure, they need the money of Champions League football as well. Arsenal, for all the years that Wenger was there, were playing Champions League football. But look what's happened to them since Wenger's left. They've been a pale imitation of Arsenal. We used to laugh at them and say they won the 4th place cup each year, but at least they were playing Champions League football. Now they're a Europa League club. United as well, very, very hit and miss with all their financial clout falling away. Maybe challenge for a Champions League place this season, but I think they'll come up short. And again, like maybe Arsenal, they might look at the Europa League as a way of getting into the Champions League. Opinion on winning the title in Goodison Park. Don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. I want Liverpool to win the title at Anfield because I want everybody to be able to celebrate with their family, loved ones, and I want more Reds at the ground when it's done. I mean, I understand why people would want to do it at Goodison, but I imagine it would be extremely fucking toxic, mate, if it happened. Phil said, breaking. Liverpool reportedly have informed Dortmund they want Sancho and are willing to pay the asking price. Dominic King. Crosby, I'm going to rely on you here, mate, to have a little Google of this. I don't believe that Liverpool would ever say to any club, yeah, we're willing to pay our asking price, mate. I mean, not publicly. That would be a very strange way of going about business. Particularly when, you know, Michael Edwards is as good as Michael Edwards is at dealing with this type of stuff. So yeah, I'll be massively shocked if that was the case, but not shocked if we're interested in him. I mean, fucking delighted about that if that's the case. Do you think Sheffield United will challenge for Europe? They're there challenging right now, Dylan, so if I said no, I don't think they'll get there in the end. I think they might fall away a little bit, but it doesn't matter whatever happens. Sheffield United and Chris Wilder have had a magnificent season in the Premier League and deserve all the accolades and all the respect and all the admiration that's coming their way. I said last night on the stream that it might actually be a good thing if they don't qualify for Europe, because they'd be very stretched if they were playing in Europe next season, and maybe their Premier League position could be under a little bit of strain. Now I know that they've got owners who are very forward looking and want the club to do well, and I know that they'd get some money from playing in the Europa League, but I don't know. Look, let's be blank about it. If you're a Sheffield United fan, or blunt about it, if you're a Sheffield United fan, you're going to want to be in Europe, aren't you? You're going to want those away days. Just from a pragmatic point of view, for me, I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if they missed out and solidified where they are, reinvested in the summer, and made another push next season. But then again, Wolves have handled it quite well, haven't they, this year? I don't care where we win it, I'll still be in a lap of honour in my birthday suits at 210 Records. Nice one. Conley sent it to me on WhatsApp. Brilliant. Let me have a little look-see here at what Mr. King had to say. Right, so... Oh, mate, you're making my eyes bleed, making me read from those fuckers. You know the account I'm talking about. Yeah. So Liverpool have informed Borussia Dortmund of their desire to sign Jadon Sancho this summer, with the German club expected to demand at least 100 mil for the 19-year-old forward. Well, nowhere there that I've read does it say we're willing to pay the asking price. Liverpool are about to enter a club record kit deal with Sancho sponsors Nike and hope manager Jurgen Klopp's connections with Dortmund, who he led for 7 years, blah blah blah. Yeah, nowhere there does it say anywhere that Liverpool are willing to pay the asking price that I've seen anyway. But it's good news. I'll fucking take that every day of the week. Craig Mark, Goldbridge was saying Scholes was noble, was scripted. Well, was fucking Goldbridge there? No. So I don't know what Mark did or didn't say. But like I'll always say, if anyone has anything to say to me or about me, I'd rather that they said it to me directly. I'm not going to go off on one because I don't know what Mark did say, but what I can say for certain is I was the one that filmed the fucking piece. So if he thinks it was scripted, that's his choice to believe. I'm not going to fire back because I've got respect for the lad. But let's put it this way. If he said that, I'm disappointed. I would have expected a bit more respect. But I don't know if he said it or not, or in what context it was said. So I'm not going to jump on my fucking high horse here and have a go with somebody because I haven't seen it myself. So, you know, I always try and be fair. What have we got? We don't waste money. We're the smartest club in the world. Timo Werner's amazing. I'm sure Liverpool will sign him. Keep up the good work. Greetings from Switzerland. Thank you, Randy. And great to have you with us, mate. Big LT said, all this Werner and Sancho talk, if you guys want to give up the dream, I won't. Hashtag Mbappe 2020. I've got to say, I've given up that dream, mate. I would love it. Yes, Jimmel, we haven't spoken about Ziyech to Chelsea, which I'm sure you guys have seen as well. Yeah, looks like that one's close, if all the media stuff's to be believed. I can't remember if it was 47 million euro or pound, but it was in and around that amount anyway that they look like they're going to bring in. Obviously, they moved on Eden Hazard. They didn't really get a chance to replace Hazard. Yes, they knew Pulisic was coming in, but Ziyech would probably be a clever piece of business for Frank Lampard and Chelsea. Yeah, it'd probably be a clever piece of business. Do you think we can do the treble this year? Yes. I'm not saying we will do it, Dylan, but we're definitely capable of it, mate. It's not going to be easy. Winning a treble, very, very difficult. But the league, it looks like we can all agree that's done by the shouting. Champions League, we've as good a chance as absolutely anybody. And then it depends, I suppose, how strong Jurgen Klopp goes away to Chelsea in the FA Cup. Oksana said, personally, I don't want Mbappe. Can't wait for the parade this year. It's going to be boss. Said Bobby. You can't hate Goldbridge. He's such a funny guy. I don't remember ever saying... I've only ever been respectful towards Mark and said how helpful he was to us as a channel. The only reason his name came up tonight is because somebody said to me that he said what he said about Scholes was scripted. That's the only reason it came up. Timo Werner said Subi. Timo Werner, baby. Right, look, let me just check my notes. Oh, Brozovic. Yes, have you guys seen this, actually? There is a report today. Was it in Gazzetta dello Sport? I can't remember where this came from. But there's a report that says Liverpool hold an interest in Marcelo Brozovic. But reports in Italy claim that we've actually sent scouts to watch him in the Milan derby last weekend. He has a release clause believed to be somewhere around £50 million. And this is not a transfer rumour that I believe at all. If anything, I would be expecting to see like United linked with Brozovic more than Liverpool. Not for me, this one, I have to say. I mean, he's a midfielder, predominantly played in a holding midfielder role this season. Nah, not for me for this one. Not for that amount of money. I would say pass. Dave Sweeney says Mark Goldbridge's name is scripted. Well, I mean, he had his reasons for using the name that he used, and they're fully respectable reasons. Craig's a quick-witted man and can come up with that on the spot. Absolutely, I'm quick-witted, and I absolutely did come up with it on the spot. Obviously, when you're going in to do these things, you're given an agenda of what's going to be spoken about, and one of my jobs was to come up with an unpopular opinion. So, yes, of course, beforehand, you're going to have to think up something, because you're not going to sit there filming and then all of a sudden go, what subject am I going to talk about? I knew I was going to go in and talk about Jordan Henderson. I knew I was going to go and talk about Paul Scholes. Of course I knew that. But the Mark Noble Ginger stuff, that just came into my head just before I was doing it. Like when I was playing things over and thinking, what am I going to say? I just thought, that'll be funny. So yeah, I went with that. And there's one coming out a little bit down the line as well that will cause probably just as much fucking fume, but not with United fans this time. But again, keep an eye out on 888 for that. What I meant is what will happen to the supposed top six in the current decade. Again, I don't know, mate. I've no crystal ball here. Nobody would have thought Leicester was going to win the league. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Liverpool and City look like they're going to be settled in that top four anyway for the foreseeable. And then it's about what other clubs can get their shit together. I mean, I didn't think Spurs would have had such a terrible start under Pochettino this season. Yeah, it's interesting. And Leicester as well, under Brendan Rodgers, doing absolutely phenomenal. Can I sync the watch-alongs on Hot Mic? Yes, 100%, Peter. That's exactly what it is. Again, thank you for asking, so I'll explain one more time. Anybody who sees on the screen there the big image that says we're now on Hot Mic, what Hot Mic is we do watch-alongs. We've seen this product. They pitched it to us. We listened to them. We seen who else was using it. We looked at it and we thought, fuck, this is almost like it's tailor-made for me and what we do. We're one of the few channels that when we do our watch-alongs, we pretty much do a play-by-play of what's going on. So I'll be saying Trent sends the ball across to Van Dijk back to Matip knocks the ball long, yada, yada, yada. So with YouTube, it's very difficult because sometimes what I'm watching is a bit ahead or a bit behind what you're watching. There's always a delay in the streams and that as well. So when we seen this product, Hot Mic, and we found out what it was, we just thought, Christ, this is perfect. This works for us. So what it is when I'm doing my watch-alongs on here, you go on a Hot Mic, you click on the game, you click on sync, that button listens to your television or listens to your device and takes what point you are in that game and syncs it up with the commentary that I'm doing here and on Hot Mic. And you'll get the video as well on Hot Mic. So basically, you'll be substituting YouTube for Hot Mic. So you'll be watching us on Hot Mic with perfectly synced commentary to your tailored, unique time frame. So there won't be me just watching it on my television and I'm in sync with what's going on, but everyone else is 30 seconds behind. No, this is tailored to each individual. It works seamlessly as well, listens to your television and syncs you up. Now, all that we ask is, if you're going over to the App Store, to the Google Play Store, and you're going to download Hot Mic, and all events are on there. I mean, you'll be able to listen to people commenting on WWE, La Liga, Serie A, NFL, loads of stuff. So if you can do us one favour, we love your support as always. It's free for you, it's free for us. Go over, get your phone out or your tablet, download Hot Mic. Make sure that when you're opening up the app and it asks you for a sign-up code, put in Anfield Agenda, all caps, all one word, and then make sure to give us a follow on there as well, because both of those help us out from a financial aspect without costing you a penny and without costing us a penny, and it helps us move the channel on, keep everything free, get better equipment, and push in the right direction and reach more people as well. I think this is the future of fan broadcasting. I really, really do. And we're going to make a big play on there, and we're going to try and establish yourself as the biggest and the best on there. And to do that, of course, as always, ladies and gents, we'll need your support. Luke said, I just downloaded Hot Mic. It has a 5-star rating on the App Store. That doesn't surprise me, Luke. It is a quality piece of kit. And when I'm a cynical fucker, I've said that to you guys loads of times. So when I see anything like this, I'm like, where's the flaws? Where's the holes? And I try and pick holes in things because that's the way I am. There's even a chat function on there. So when you're on Hot Mic and you're watching the game on there and you've got it synced, you'll also have ambient crowd noise in the background. So if I don't talk for a second, you'll still get to hear some noise from the game and stuff. Then on top of that, there's a live chat function. So you'll be able to chat with us as well, just like you do on here. And from financial aspect, there's a tipping option and stuff like that on there. But again, it's all free for everybody. And again, it helps us, which I hope you all want to do. Do you think Liverpool has hit the top yet, or is there still room to improve? Which youths would you like to see the Liverpool bench in the future? And that comes from Genwill. Again, mate, thank you for the super chat. No, I don't think we've peaked yet, which is a beautiful thing to say, mate, isn't it? And the reason I say that is I think we're going to be putting trophies in the cabinet for the next 3, 4, 5 years, mate. Which players would I like to see come through? Curtis Jones, without a shadow of a doubt. Ryan Brewster, I hold very high hopes for. And young Neco Williams looks like he's absolutely nailed on to be Trent's challenger, backup, whatever you want to call it, in that right back position. It looks like he's going to sign a new improved deal with the club as well, which is very well deserved. Yeah, for me, they're the front runners. Then we've got obviously Kylian, Hoover, Sepp Vandenberg, players that we speak about all the time. But it's bright, mate. And to say that we haven't peaked yet, or that there's still room to improve, it's fucking scary, isn't it? It's scary when you think of the level that we're currently at, like. The fact we haven't peaked is scary, said Stephen Booker. What else we got? Sancho, cross with Werner, cross with Elliott. Yeah, Harvey Elliott as well. That's a name I haven't even spoken about. Because I almost think of Harvey Elliott as a first teamer already, even though he's 16, 17 years of age. I think he just turned 17, if my memory's correct. So yeah, he's another one that's nailed on. Looks like an absolute worldie of a footballer. So the future is very, very bright. And to those that are saying, go out and splash money, that kind of is the argument, isn't it? The Curtis Jones, the Ryan Brewsters, the Harvey Elliots, the Neco Williams. I mean, can anybody really make an argument to say that they're not good enough and they don't deserve an opportunity? I can't. I'm sure Jurgen Klopp can't. And that's what we all want. We all want these players to come through, save the club money, and go out to be absolutely amazing. Craig, iPhone or Android, both. It's on the App Store and the Google Play Store, Tom, on both of them, buddy. What have we got? I don't see anyone that big coming in. Right, let me just ask you guys a question, because we're talking about transfers and it's fucking great and I love it and I get really excited when we talk about transfers. One name. Give me one name that you think Liverpool will sign this summer. Your honest opinion. Don't give me the Kylian Mbappe's, because we all know that that's wishful thinking. But who do you think we will sign this summer? I've been so impressed with Williams, said Joshy. Right with you, buddy. He's been amazing. Could Neco Williams break through after Robbo? He could play at left back as well. I haven't even thought about the possibility of him covering over there, mate. That's a good show. Right, Werner. I think, yeah, look, Werner. Werner for Casper, Kay, Oksana, Andrew, 40-year-old Virgil. Dave Smith says Havertz. Mark Hendley says Werner. Luke said Havertz. Dave Sweeney said Werner as well. Havertz. Wow, that's somebody we haven't heard mentioned in a while, actually. And a name that I fucking hate saying because it makes me sound like a farmer from Plymouth or something. United fan, by the way, said General. Mate, you're very welcome in. And thank you for both your super chats and just your comments, mate. It's great to have you here. We welcome fans of any club in. All that we ever ask is that people are respectful to other people in the chat and to myself. And you certainly have been, mate. So thank you. Commiserations on being a United fan, by the way. That must be pretty tough at the moment. Adama Traore said no name. Sancho said Neil Anthony. Darren's gone for Werner. Messi said Callum. Werner and Havertz for Tom Boland. Who else have we got? Coutinho for Nathan Whelan. Mate, I can pretty much guarantee it. Philippe Coutinho is not coming back to Liverpool. Just look into the reasons on why he left the club and how he forced his way out. Bring back Danny Ings, said Adam. I'm delighted for Ingsy, I have to say. He's one player that when he left Liverpool, I think everybody hoped that he'd be a success because he's a top lad and injuries just plagued him. He didn't get a chance. But I think everybody likes Danny Ings. Chukwueze for Big Man Steve. Werner for Rafa. Werner for John Cable as well. Luke said, I'd like to see Lewis from Norwich. One for the future. Absolutely. Looks like a wonderful footballer, mate. Chukwueze for Tom Boland as well. Sancho for Dylan. Messi on a free for Callum. I know we can all laugh at that, but there was something that said Messi could leave Barcelona this summer. I think it's in his contract. I don't think he will. I think he's just angling for more money. Kev's gone for Lionel Richie. We'll be dancing on the ceiling, Kev. Do you know what I mean? Willow's gone for Werner. Let's not sign Werner. Bobby is a number 9. Simple as. Again, though, just think of the possibilities. Joshy, if we did bring in Timo Werner, you can play Werner in the left, on the right. You could drop Bobby a little bit deeper. Bobby could get a rest more often. I just get excited when I think of the possibility of that, mate. I think you meant to say Sancho, Kev, but you said Sanchez. Joe Allen, said Andrew Robertson. Joe Allen. Yeah, he loves his chickens, Joe. Loves his chickens. James Painter said, I like Werner. So do I, mate. I think look, we can say from the quick poll that we've taken on there, Werner is the one that I think most people believe that we're going to most likely sign this summer. Dominus Earth, how are you, sir? It's been a long time. A friend from Manchester City, an absolute gentleman. I hope you're okay, mate. I hope life's treating you well. Probably looking forward to the Real Madrid ties in the Champions League as well, no doubt. But as always, my friend, it's lovely to see you in. Haaland, there's a name, mate. Bob, that's I think from what I've read, Haaland always wanted to go and play in the Bundesliga. I think that was his dream since he was a child. So I think he will stay at Dortmund for a few more years. I don't know how long, but without a shadow of a doubt, that guy is shit hot. No doubt about it. Can't wait to see Millie as a manager when he retires. He definitely has that air about him, doesn't he? That he could easily go on and become a manager. And I'd imagine he'd be one of those managers as well that you're going to want to play for. He just seems that type of character. Should Everton have accepted £85 million for Richarlison? I don't know if that was genuine. I know that the story was out there, mate. And I don't know if there was a genuine bid or not. Should they have accepted it? No, not if they have plans to move forward. No, not if they, want to keep going and they want their player. Yeah, no, I think if Everton want to move into that, new stadium that still hasn't come any fucking closer, yeah, they're going to want to keep their best players, and Richarlison is one of their better players. So if you're an Everton fan, you're happy that they turned that bid down, I'm sure, if the bid actually came in. I'm not sure if it did or not. Richarlison's a bit one of those shithouse type of players, and I mean that from the point of view of if he's your player, if he's in your club, you kind of like him, and if you probably really like him. But if he's not, from the outside, he's one of those really divisive players, isn't he? He looks like he's always a little bit snidey. Werner will want to play regular football, not rotational, and you know this, mate. You spoke to him, Joe. Do you? you and Timo on the old blower, and he goes, look, mate, I couldn't be arsed going to Liverpool. I want to play every single game of every single season, and I'm not going anywhere. That's not guaranteed. He will play regular football. Wherever he goes, mate, he'll play regular football. If he comes to Liverpool, he'll play regular football. We play a lot of games every single season, and we can't play our front three for all of those games. So I don't buy into that as an argument. Can I get Hot Mic on Mac? No, mate. It's only available on mobile devices at the minute. So it's available on your phone, it's available on your iPad, it's available on your Samsung tablet or whatever it might be. But it's not available on Windows, and it's not available on a Mac operating system yet. No, they are working on that though. What about Minamino? Don't forget about him. Oh, I haven't, Jim. I haven't. That is going to turn out to be one of the bargains, in my opinion, of the last 5 years in Premier League. 7.25 million quid for somebody that looks as good as he does, that looks as tailor-made for the way we play. I haven't forgotten about him, Jim. Don't worry about that, mate. I mean, what a bargain. What a bargain. What's your opinions on Minamino? I literally just went there, Joshy. Love him. Really excited to see how he gets on. Again, I know I brought this up quite a bit, but I loved listening to him speak after the Shrewsbury game, where he spoke about knowing what he did right, what he did wrong, and what he needs to do, and what he expects from himself. I think that's class. And all signs point to the fact that he's going to be an absolute bargain. Dominus Earth said, I think all the English teams will get to the quarters in the Champions League. They're dominating Europe, mate. I mean, both Champions League finalists last season, English. Both Europa League finalists last season, English. So, yeah, I couldn't bet against the fact that all the clubs could get to the Champions League quarterfinals. You guys, I think, will turn over Real Madrid over 2 legs. I think we'll turn over Atleti over 2 legs. Spurs Leipzig is going to be difficult. That's going to be a really interesting 2 legs of football. I think what might get Spurs through is that Leipzig are a little bit leaky from a defensive standpoint. And I can't remember who the fuck Chelsea got drawn against in the Champions League. Who was Chelsea drawn against? I'm sure somebody can help me out who they're playing in the Champions League, because for the life of me I can't remember. Craig, I don't think he suits our style of play, to be honest, said Joe. Again, buddy, I respect your opinion. It's all about opinions. My opinion would be that he absolutely would suit our style of play, but I guess the only opinion that really matters, mate, is the Kloppos, and time will tell. I'm sure as a Liverpool fan, though, if he does come, I've no doubt, of course, you'll want him to succeed like all of us. Bayern, there you go, Bayern. Yeah, that's going to be another intriguing one. I would call that a coin toss. Chelsea Bayern, I think that's a coin toss. Very intrigued. There's some really good ties in the Champions League last 16, isn't there? I'm looking forward to them, and we're going to be covering as many of the games as we can on the channel. So even though Liverpool won't be playing every one of those Champions League games, we're going to make sure that we cover one game of every night of the Champions League last 16 on here and on Hot Mic. So make sure you download the app, and make sure, of course, you've subscribed on here. Make sure you've hit that thumbs up button on the stream as well. Gonna carry on for another 5 or 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, because hey, life's good, and why not? Let's keep going. Bayern will slaughter Chelsea. I've watched a fair bit of Bayern, mate, and again, they're a bit hit and miss. But then again, so are Chelsea. Chelsea can go out and play really, really well, and then they can go out and just do stupid shit. So I could understand how you could come to the belief that Bayern will win that all day long, but Bayern, to me, when we played them last season, they were so negative when they came to Anfield, and their own arrogance almost fucked them over, because they thought the job was done, I think, when they came to Anfield and got that draw. And then, of course, we went over there, banged in 3, job done. I don't know. I wouldn't write Chelsea out of that one. I think I understand why people would maybe make Bayern favourites, but yeah, I'd say coin toss. I would make... What do you guys think of the Leipzig Spurs game, actually? Who are you fancying in that one? Because for me, I've talked myself one way and the other for that game. Liverpool Bayern final, said Jay, calling it. It'd be a handy final for us, mate. I would absolutely take Bayern Munich in the final. That'd do me Grand. If you offered me that right now, I'd bite your hand off for Bayern Munich in the final. It's good time to play Barcelona, said Max. Yeah, they're after getting the go-ahead to sign an emergency striker, haven't they? And I think they're looking at, is it a guy from, is it Sociedad or something? I can't remember who they're looking at to bring in, but they've got the go-ahead because of the injury to Ousmane Dembele, because he's going to be out for so long, and obviously with Suarez out as well. Yeah, they've gotten the go-ahead to go and sign somebody. So what have we got? Big Man Steve reckons Leipzig. Joe says Spurs. Leipzig for Benjamin. Spurs for Kate. How do you become a member? Right, Darren, so there's a link in the description below, mate, of the stream. There should be a button beside your subscribe button there as well. And Connor has put a link into the chat there right now, mate. If you want to click on that link, that'll take you to the sign up page. I haven't spoken about the memberships really tonight because I've been pitching hot mic so much. But look, if you've seen people use loads of cool emojis in the chat, so you've seen people use a fuck 'em emoji, Klopp emoji, a Craig's bald head emoji, a Van Dijk emoji, all those things, a WFM emoji, they're all for members of Anfield Agenda. And to become a member, you need to sign up, and it's 99p a month or $4.99 a month. I say 99p. If you're in America, it's 99 cent. If you're in Ireland, it's 99 cent from a euro perspective. And for 99 cent a month or 99p a month, what you get is use of all those cool emojis. You get the Anfield Agenda logo beside your name, and that logo changes depending on how long you're with us. So if you're a member for 2 months, that logo will change to silver. 4 months, that logo will change to gold. And 6 months, that logo will change to the beautiful red colour that we always use. Also, for me, I see all of the members' names in green. I know that you guys don't, but for me, all of your names are in green, which makes it easier for me to pick out your comments and read them out. And then there's our $4.99 membership as well, and that gets you everything that we've spoken about before, but it also gets you access to our Anfield Agenda Discord group, which we use to throw around ideas, get suggestions for things to talk about. We'll also be giving you guys discounts on merch when we release that down the line as well. But yeah, mainly it's all the emojis and stuff like that. And just to give you guys a quick breakdown, about 25% of people that have signed up to the Ultras membership, which is the $4.99 membership. And of course the other 75% have signed up to Anfield Agenda FC, which is the 99p membership. But either way, a couple of things we want you to know about it. Firstly, if you're not in a position to sign up, or you just don't want to sign up, absolutely sound. We will continue to try and read out your comments. We'll always promise you that there will be no content behind a paywall, and we'll always promise you that we'll do our best to get through as many comments as we can. If you are in a position and you have signed up, know that you're helping to secure the future of the channel. You're helping to push us forward, and hopefully take us to the next level going forward. But either way, just you guys being here, subscribe to the channel, watching, commenting, that means the world to us. That means absolutely everything. So for that, for each and every one of you that watch day in, day out, comment, like the videos, share them, that means the world to us. So on behalf of myself and Connor, thank you for all of your support. No matter what happens, the financial stuff is great, but we promised you, we've always promised, nothing will be going behind a paywall. Everything is always going to be free, because that's what we believe in fan content. We believe fan content should be free. Specifically the type of fan content that we do, anyway. What have we got? Real Revenge will be sweet, said Nathan Whelan. Would love to play Real Madrid and smash them, said Dave Smith. Best LFC community on YouTube. Look, Chief Sutherland, what a fucking name. I know I've said that before, but what a name, mate. I think we have a real family vibe on our channel. And the reason that that's happened is partly because of the hard work of our moderators and them booting out all the trolls and booting out anybody who's been abusive. Partly because we've always fostered an interactive community feel on here from day one. Because what we've said from the start is, I'm a fan. I'm not an expert. I'm a fan like you and everybody else. My opinion is no more or no less valid than any of yours. And we don't give a fuck if you've been supporting Liverpool a week or you've been supporting Liverpool since you were a dream in your father's nutsack 50 years ago. That doesn't make a difference to us. We wanted to bring fans from around the world together in a place where we can have a safe, fun environment to chat. We know that we don't all get to the games as often as we'd like. We know that there are some people who live in faraway places that may never get to Anfield. But we've always promised, and we assured you, we are here, we are your voice, we are here for the fans around the world to give you a place to come and share your opinions and not be judged, and not be belittled, Unless maybe the odd time we're having a bit of banter, do you know what I mean? Gotta be honest about that. I can be a sarky fucker from time to time. But we love you, and what you've done for us, what you've done for me on a personal level, with my self-esteem, my confidence, it's amazing. So thank you for all of it, for the 34,200 people. Russell Highway, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my friend. Thank you so much for signing up. Enjoy the emojis. I don't even have the fucking emojis. That's the really annoying thing. Right now on my keyboard, I don't have the emojis. Connor does because he's a member. I don't have them on my keyboard. I suppose if I signed in as Anfield Agenda though, I probably would, wouldn't I? Yeah, I probably would, but I never do any of the commenting. When you see the name Anfield Agenda on the screen there, it's always Connor that's doing it. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, what have we got? 5 minutes to go, then we'll finish up for the night. We'll be back tomorrow as well with a full preview of the Norwich game. We'll be going through starting 11, score predictions, all that type of stuff. So get your thinking caps on. Get your thinking caps on about who you want to start tomorrow, or on Saturday, excuse me, and about what do you think the score might be as well. Thanks, Craig. I'm defo going to use them soon and have some fun with them. Great, Russell. There's more coming. Connor's working on a C Senior and an El Capitan emoji soon as well, and of course the Premier League trophy is one that we've put out very recently. With Liverpool's under 18s and under 23s new signings, do you think they'll reach Madrid's 13 Champions Leagues? No, mate. Look, being realistic, it'll take us a long time to win another 7 European Cups. Excuse me. In my head, I'd already assumed we'd won it this year, which is very arrogant of me. Look, 13. You know, that is, if you look into the history of some of those European Cups, the early ones, look into that yourself. I don't want to belittle them, but no, not for a very, very, very long time, mate, if I'm being honest about it. I think we'll add some more trophies for sure, but to catch up with Madrid's 13 is a big ask. Is Werner coming to Liverpool? Ross, all signs point to a positive outcome, but I'm not going to lie to you and say it's a done deal, mate. But what I will say is, like I said earlier on, there definitely seems to be interest there. There's a lot of reports about it. We know that there's a €60 million buyout clause. We know from the looks of things that Liverpool made contact with his management or his representatives last year, or in the last window or something, or maybe it was last summer, and was told that he wanted another season in the Bundesliga. But if you're to be believing the things that are in the media, mate, it's looking pretty good. It's looking like it could happen, but I don't want to say anything's definitive because I don't know. I'm just a fan, as I said a few minutes ago. Lars said the only emojis I use are beers, don't need any other ones. Why not, mate? Why not? I know you like a few scoops, buddy, nothing wrong with it. Is there anything else I've missed out on? No, look, I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I think we shall call that a night. As always, thank you. And I'll end up by saying again, go over, download Hot Mic onto your phone or your mobile device. Put in the code Anfield Agenda when you're signing up on there, all caps, all one word, and give us a follow on there. That makes a massive difference to us. And we hope that you'll be with us on Saturday for the Watchalong. We hope that you'll give Hot Mic a try. And I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. If nothing else, just because the Reds are back in action. It feels like a fucking eternity since the Reds were last playing. So, game coming up on Saturday, game coming up on Tuesday. We'll be covering the Spurs game, the Champions League as well. So much to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your love, support and time. I'll chat to you tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Get your asses over to Hot Mic. Check it out. You know what to do. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will chat to you tomorrow. Up the motherfucking Reds.